Mox Opal and Faithless looting in the same deck? Today we're playing a deck featuring both Grinding Station and Underworld Breach. It's a spicy one. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. This is Modern Grinding Breach, and it has its name because it's looking to combine Underworld Breach, which is a 2-mana enchantment that allows you to escape cards from your graveyard in order to play them, and then Grinding Station, the grinding aspect of the deck, which mills 3 cards and can untap whenever you play an artifact. So Escape costs 3, Grinding Station mills 3, and then untaps whenever you play an artifact. So the idea is that this deck just got a lot better with the addition of Mox Opal, the recent unbanned from the Modern Ban Restricted update. So now you have both Mox Opal and Mox Amber. So Mox Amber requires a legend, Mox Opal requires more artifacts. So you have to meet one of those two requirements, plus Grinding Station, plus Underworld Breach. The idea is that you'll mill your entire library into Thassa's Oracle and win the game. The legends that we have on the deck, Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, quite the powerful card, which happens to make artifacts as well, so it helps out your Mox Opal if you don't have a Mox Amber. And then Emry Lurker of the Loch, which can play a Mox Amber or a Mox Opal from the graveyard. It could also play Mishra's Bauble or a Grinding Station itself. So you have 8 legends in the deck, and then obviously your combo. But we have a wonderful supporting cast in this deck as well, like Unholy Heat, Galvanic Blast, creature removal, but also Galvanic Blast could be an alternative win condition if you suspect that your opponent has consigned a memory, which is pretty good. And then I mentioned in the intro, Faithless looting was also unbanned. So in your deck that you need Mox Opal to win and a full graveyard, you just got Faithless looting. So now you can get rid of spare copies of Mox Opal or Grinding Stations while filling your graveyard for the Underworld Breach. This deck is just extremely consistent. On top of that consistency, you have Urza Sagas. You have a backup plan beating down with constructs where you naturally play a bunch of artifacts anyway, or it's a consistency piece with finding your Mox Opal, Mox Amber, or Haywire Mite to answer a problematic permanent. So this deck has a lot of nice things going on for it. But in the sideboard, with being a teamer deck, you have really nice options as well, like Spell Pierce, Veil of Summer, Nature's Claim for Leyline of the Void, additional removal with Unholy Heat or Pyroclasm, and then some pretty good Urza Saga targets like Aether Spellbomb, Needle, which could stop graveyard hate like a Soul Guide Lantern, and then your own Soul Guide Lantern for opposing graveyard decks. So you might be wondering, is this better than the Lotus Breach deck that you recorded last week that went undefeated? Well, you could find that video in the card above. Sick brag. But I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of the Grinding Station Breach decks, but it's also been a couple years since I've played them. I played the initial builds when they debuted with like Teferi Time Raveler and Prismatic Ending. Those lists also have counter spells in them, and they were a lot more controlling than I like. This deck looks a lot more like a real combo deck, so I'm willing to play it again. So we'll see how it goes today. Maybe my opinion's changed and I'll have to buy some copies of Mox Ambers and Grinding Stations because I don't own those. Those are the only things I'm missing. But it would be a cool addition to my repertoire, so hopefully it's really good. Let's stick around and find out if it is really. But I'll see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We have won the die roll with Grinding Breach. Here we have 2 copies of Grinding Station. We have an Emry. So all this hand is missing is a second land and Underworld Breach. I think I'll try this. We'll play Misty Rainforest. We'll fetch. Let's grab Steam Vents. Ouch. Play that Faithless looting. Well, we found the additional land. Get rid of Grinding Station, and is it crazy to just get rid of 2 stations here? I think that's probably the move. Because I can play Emry on the next turn, and then we could just recast a Grinding Station later, either off Emry or the Underworld Breach. They play Ancient Stirrings. They're playing the Broodscale deck. Okay. Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. So this is actually kind of nice here. So I'll play the Mox Amber, which will make the Emry cost 1 less. And then we'll play Emry. Oh no, we milled double Underworld Breach. That wasn't good. And then we'll play Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Pass the turn. They play Basic Forest and the Basking Broodscale. Mishra's Bauble. That was a good one to find off when we have the Emry. Eldrazi Temple's their top card. We'll replay Bauble here. Play Breeding Pool tapped. And now we'll attack with the Tamiyo. So if I use this Bauble, I could flip Tamiyo on their turn. I don't know if that's something I'm interested in. I don't think it is. We'll pass. In their upkeep, I'll draw off the Bauble. And now they'll draw the Eldrazi Temple. They play the Eldrazi Temple. And they have the Blade of the Blood Chief. In response to this equip, we will Unholy Heat. So now the equip fails. We'll look at their top card using the Bauble. It's a Springleaf Drum. We'll draw a card using the Clue token. Faithless Looting. And now we'll draw off the Bauble. Draw for turn. That should be a win. Alright, so we'll play Underworld Breach. And now we'll play the Grinding Station. Actually, let's play the Urza Saga from hand. We'll play the Grinding Station. And our opponent just concedes. I don't even have to go through the loop. That's the best. I want to execute that loop as little as possible. Like, that's not really something I want to do today. So hopefully none of our opponents make us do it. Alright, so how to sideboard. I like the additional Unholy Heat. Also, I think the Needle could be good. I'm also interested in Aether Spellbomb. So that's 63 cards. The issue is, like, our entire deck is good cards. Like, what do you sideboard out? Probably shave, like, a Mox Amber. Some lists only play 2 Grinding Stations, so I think it's okay to board one of those out. And then maybe, like, 1 Emry? Is that crazy? I don't know if you're ever supposed to board out Emry or not, but it's a matchup where your opponent doesn't have a lot of removal, which is why I think that it might be okay. Like, we're facing a green combo deck, so you don't ever want to draw multiples, which makes sense to me. This is pretty darn good. We'll keep this. So we can play turn 1 Thundering Falls, and then on turn 2 we can play Rumble, or we can play Urza Saga. It depends on what game plan we would like to be on. They play Basic Forest, and they're just passing. Also, this is the Basic Forest I use in real life. Love it. Invasion Basics are the best, so props to our opponent here. We'll play Thundering Falls, Surveil. We're going to get rid of the Opal, play Mishra's Bauble, and then pass. Whoops. I meant to Bauble in their upkeep. That was my bad. Yavimaya Coast, and a Rumble. All 4 of the cards... No, they take the Yavimaya, my bad. So they have Yavimaya in hand. And step will Bauble them. Glaring Fleshraker, okay. We'll draw off the Bauble and Holy Heat, and a Faithless Looting. I think I would like to Rumble here. We'll grab Stomping Ground. Ouch. Let's get ready to Rumble! Ooh, we hit the Grinding Station. Think we take the station? So this is a turn 3 win, I believe. And I could be wrong, but next turn we can play Underworld Breach and Grinding Station and then get back to Mox Opal. The problem is we don't have Metalcraft. So maybe I have to wait a turn. Which wouldn't be the end of the world when I'm sitting on double removal spell either. The alternative is if I Faithless Looting, which gives me enough cards to buy back Mox Opal and a Mishra's Bauble for Metalcraft. That could do it. So let's fetch. Adds another card to our graveyard. We'll grab Basic Mountain. And then let's Faithless Looting. We hit Mox Amber. That might do it, because I think that gives me Metalcraft now. Discard the Urza Saga and Otawara. We'll play the Mox Amber. So let's just talk through this. I can use the Eldrazi Spawn and a land to play Underworld Breach. And then I have 11 cards. This should work. Assuming our opponent doesn't have, like, Endurance or something. We'll play Underworld Breach. Play Mox Opal. And now we'll play Mishra's Bauble. That gives me Metalcraft. And I can now play the Grinding Station. So with this trigger on the stack... Boom! That was a turn 3. That was pretty sick. And we did it without needing more moving parts. So like no Lotus Field, no Twiddles. It was just Grinding Station plus Breach. I mean, we had double Mox here, but when you have 8 Mox in, I guess that's the same as 8 Twiddles in the Lotus Breach deck. So, okay, so that part was a wash. So it's one less moving piece because you didn't need Lotus Field. That was nice. And then on top of that, you had removal open if you wanted it. Okay, so far so good. I like that. Let's see if we can win match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Another round, another die roll 1. We are on the play for the second match. We have a first turn Tamiyo. I mean, this hand seems fine enough. We'll play Misty Rainforest, search out a basic island, play the Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, pass. Sacred Foundry, Guide of Souls, sure. Mishra's Bauble. We'll attack with the Tamiyo, create a clue. We'll play Mountain. Let's play the Bauble, target them, and I think I'll just pass here because I'd like to draw off the clue. Basically, the longer you hold lootings, the better they get when you're creating clue tokens. Mox Opal was great here. So next turn, if I don't draw off the clue, I could have Metalcraft. That's interesting. I think I'm going to end up drawing off it anyway, just so that way I can use the mana advantage, because I'm likely to draw another artifact anyway. Or I could play out the Grinding Station, which would give me Mox Opal Metalcraft, and then I could play Looting, which is another option. They play an Ocelot Pride, sure. Arid Mesa for a basic Plains. Static Prison. So they're going to exile my Tamiyo here. That's fine, we'll draw off the clue. Mox Amber. Okay. They have 4 energy, so the Static Prison is not going anywhere. Another Mox Opal. Let's play Faithless Looting. We'll discard Thassa's Oracle and the second copy of Mox Opal. Let's play Breeding Pool. Ouch. We'll play the Grinding Station. Mox Amber. Mox Opal. And I could Faithless Looting right now, but I think I'm going to wait a turn. And if our opponent has another Static Prison, I could sacrifice whatever they target to the Grinding Station, including Grinding Station itself. A Dashed Ragavan. Okay. So now they'll attack. They could pump up a creature here with the Guide of Souls. It looks like they're going to. On a cat token. I will end up at 9 life and the Ragavan connects. My top card was an Underworld Breach? Oh, wow. That hurts. No way. I mean, I guess if I would have played Looting on my turn, I would have drawn into it, but I didn't know it was there. And generally, it's better to keep Looting with more cards in hand because it gives you the most options when you draw a discard. But I'm just punished by them hitting the Underworld Breach. Devastating play. So now we have to find one of 3 remaining Underworld Breaches or else we lose. A bunch of triggers on the stack, they'll all resolve, and then we can take our turn. Okay. Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Let's play Faithless Looting. We hit Breach. Wow, how lucky. Okay, so we'll discard Tamiyo and the Grinding Station. Show them Underworld Breach. And our opponent just concedes the match. They were nice enough in chat to be like, hey, do you have anything spicy? I told them that I have 2 Galvanic Blasts, but that's not exactly, hot tech, and then they conceded. So that was awfully nice of them. I'm a big fan of my opponents not making me play that out. It is the best. We'll bring in Unholy Heat and Pyroclasm. Okay, so it's 63 cards. I wonder if this isn't an amazing Tamiyo deck or a Tamiyo matchup, because it's not about card advantage. I understand that it turns on Mox Amber, but maybe I'm supposed to board out Tamiyos here. And then we'll bring in like Aether Spellbomb, or even Needle, and then maybe bring out 1 Mox Amber. Let's try this. I'm sure people will watch this video and be like, Bryant, after you assemble those 3 cards, what happens? All of your opponents just concede. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, that's the hope that all your opponents just concede. This hand is so close. So if we draw a land, this hand is the nuts because you could play a turn 1 Emry, but the problem is you don't have a land. You could keep one, it's just very, very risky. You could also draw a Bobble because Bobble would allow you to play Emry on the first turn. I want to keep this so badly. You have no idea. I'll get eaten alive in the comments if I wasn't recording this, I might keep this hand, but we'll mulligan. We will keep and get rid of Mox Amber. Wish I would have kept the 7. They have a first turn Elegant Parlor, Misty Rainforest, pass. I think I want to grab a Surveil land here. They play Ocelot Pride and an Arid Mesa. We'll fetch, grab Thundering Falls. I think we'll keep the Breeding Pool. We'll play Breeding Pool. We will not shock. And then I'm just going to kill the Ocelot Pride. Let's not let that snowball, because we have a draw that is very slow. So if you let the Ocelot Pride start going, you end up behind pretty quickly. They grab another Elegant Parlor. They kept the card on top. Aether Hub, yep. Magebane Lizard. We do have Unholy Heat. Bobble. We'll play Faithless Looting. I'll take a damage off the Lizard. We'll get rid of the 2 Mox in here. So that gives us Delirium for next turn. We'll play Adawara as our land. Pass. They attack for 1. We'll go to 17. Guide of Souls. I wish I had another red land instead of these two. Because like right now we're a little bit choked on red mana. Mox Opal. Let's kill the Magebane Lizard. I'll take 1. If they have Thraben Charm here, I actually get blown out. But they don't. We'll play the Opal and pass the turn. I feel like our opponent has some sort of instant speed card in their hand because they paused for a second on each card. And it felt like more than just clicking OK. So they're going to Galvanic Discharge their own creature here. They attack for 1 currently. I don't know if they're going to use this ability. And they do. I will Galvanic Blast. So they wasted a little bit of mana and energy between the Galvanic Discharge and then the Guide of Souls. But we're in a spot where I'm now hellbent, and our opponent isn't playing stuff because I think they have Thraben Charm in hand. It's either Charm or like Orm's Chant. We'll use both copies of Mishra's Bauble. We draw Misty Rainforest. We don't have another Surveil land, so that's a little problematic. But I suppose I could flashback Faithless Looting here, Grinding Station, and another Looting. So if I think that they have Thraben Charm, I shouldn't discard the Grinding Station. So I'll get rid of the island in the Faithless Looting. We'll play Misty Rainforest, and we'll pass. They play Ajani. We will fetch down to 15. Was I supposed to bring in Spell Pierce in this matchup? That feels really bad. We're trying to beat like an Orm's Chant. We'll grab Stomping Ground. I do wish there was another Surveil land in this deck, but that might be a big ask when you're also playing for Urza Saga. We draw another land. Let's play Rumble. I could take the Urza Saga here and just like try to switch to a beatdown plan. I don't mind that. We'll play Urza Saga for turn. And then let's flashback a Faithless Looting. Get rid of Steam Vents and Unholy Heat. Maybe it was supposed to be the Grinding Station. I'm not sure on that one. No blocks. I'll take 3. I go to 12. And they're just holding whatever interaction they have up in their hand. I mean, what I'd like to draw is another Urza Saga. Like, that would probably be one of my best draws. Instead, we draw Mishra's Bauble. We'll play the Bauble. So I just want to think through this. If I play Grinding Station, that turns on the Mox Opal. And then I can play Pyroclasm using the Spawn and the Opal, and then make a construct on their end step. I think that's the move. And now we'll tap the Opal for a red, use the Spawn, and we'll play Pyroclasm. And they Galvanic Discharge on their own cat here. So that's going to flip the Ajani. Okay, so Pyroclasm is essentially fizzled. I'm going to sit on the Mishra's Bauble because I don't want my construct to die to like a bolt. So I'd rather not just like throw away my construct token. They play Guide of Souls. They use the Ajani. They get to create a cat plus some energy. On their end step, we will make a construct token. No, I don't want to untap my grinding station, thank you. Alright, so I'm choosing to not use the bauble. I want my constructs to remain large. Thassa's Oracle, not a very good draw here. We will make another construct. No. And we'll search. So I could grab Aether Spellbomb, Haywire Might, a Mishra's Bauble, or the Needle. I can name Needle on the Ajani, and then it pretty much doesn't do anything. Kind of like that. Alright, so the key is you want to name the back half, not the front half. So we have done that now. And we have a 6/6 construct token. Say no to the grinding station. And now we'll go to combat. Attack them for 6. They take it. And I'm going to play Thassa's Oracle here, which might seem a little weird because I could flashback the Faithless looting. But this just being a 1/3 blocker that scries versus their current board seems good to me. We'll put Unholy Heat on top. Pass the turn. Meltdown for 2. Wow! That is devastating. We'll use the bauble. They have a Flage on top. So a question I have here is, should I mill the Unholy Heat on top of my deck just trying to spike an Underworld Breach? We'll target myself, get rid of Grinding Station. We did not hit an Underworld Breach, so we still have 4 copies of Underworld Breach in our deck. And I'll have 2 draws on my turn. So the Guide of Souls triggers, and now they can make their cat super large. I'll take 4 here, going to 8. Come on, Underworld Breach. Let's see it. We draw off the Mishra's Bauble. We found Breach. Play Underworld Breach. Please don't have Orm's Chant. It resolves. We'll escape Mox Opal. Rare Tear. Ugh. Yeah, like maybe I'm supposed to be bringing in Spell Pierce. I guess my out is drawing into another Underworld Breach. So we will Unholy Heat on Guide of Souls. I shouldn't remove the Saga. That would be silly. And now we'll play another Mishra's Bauble. Am I dead on board? No. Not dead on board. We'll just bauble now for sake of laziness. Okay. I mean, we hit our out there, but our opponent had the answer. So between this bauble draw and my draw step, I need to hit another Underworld Breach, and I did. So now we need to live and for our opponent not to have it. So that kills me. Because they can exile and then pump and then swing. They also have Flage in hand for an additional 3 damage. That was a good game. We didn't win it, but it was a very good game. Okay, so I think I want to bring in Spell Pierce. The question is, what do we board out now? I wonder if it's just Mox Amber, because I've boarded out the Tamiyos. And they showed us Meltdown too, so you don't really want these heavy artifact draws. We'll try this. On the play. Sure, we'll keep. We'll play Scalding Tarn, play out the bauble, target myself. Do I want a Mox right now? I don't think I do. So we'll fetch. Grab Thundering Falls. Haywire Might can go to the graveyard. And we'll pass. I did like an additional land there. That seems good to me. They play Bloodstained Mire. Ocelot Pride. That's something that dies to Pyroclasm, so I'm good with that. Otawara is the draw. We'll fetch. And I'm going to grab Stomping Ground here. I want green mana, but I also don't want to be choked on red mana like I was last game. We'll play the Rumble. We will take Underworld Breach, so our opponent knows now that I have Underworld Breach in hand. We will pass. So I need to find Grinding Station and then Mox Opal. Well, I guess I have a Mishra's Bauble, so I technically don't even need the Mox Opal, so the big thing is finding Grinding Station. They have land number 2, and they're passing. Faithless looting. We'll play Saga, trigger the ability. Let's play Aether Spellbomb. I think I'll just pass. I'm likely to cycle the Spellbomb on their end step, just so I have something else to discard to this Faithless looting. I don't want to discard any of these cards, so why would I play looting right now? So that's why I'm more interested in this Aether Spellbomb. They attack again. I will go to 13. Another Ocelot Pride. Okay. They have all the triggers. End step will draw off the Aether Spellbomb. Another Spell Pierce. Okay. The Urza Saga will now go up to the second chapter. We'll play Pyroclasm. And we'll pass the turn. They grab another Elegant Parlor. Land number 4. Guide of Souls is back. Them hitting so many lands is not what I want here because it makes our Spell Pierce less reliable. They still have 3 cards. On the end step, we'll activate our Urza Saga to make a construct. We draw Misty Rainforest. I'll make another construct here. Question is, what am I getting? Spellbomb and Haywire Might are already in the graveyard, so I can grab a Mox Opal. This seems fine. We'll play Misty Rainforest. And then I think now is the time where I will play the Faithless Looting. Emry and a Rumble. We'll discard both of those. It's either Emry or the Otawara. And I think my plan is to play Breach next turn. And I think the land is better, because I can just escape the Emry. I'll pass. Galvanic Discharge. That happens. And now they fetch with the Arid Mesa. Another Galvanic Discharge. They have 2 cards remaining. And now they can pump their creatures using the Guide of Souls. Okay, so they have a 3/3 cat, and then a couple other things. So they have 2 cards left. So my copies of Spell Pierce should protect the Underworld Breach. But the question is, do we end up finding the Grinding Station? We're over 33% through our deck, so odds aren't unrealistic. I go to 7. We'll grab Breeding Pool. Okay. We draw the station. Let's go. Alright, so we'll play Otawara and Underworld Breach. That resolves. We'll play Mishra's Bauble. That resolves. Now we'll play Aether Spellbomb. They're tapping 2 here. Raven Charm. I will Spell Pierce. So now Aether Spellbomb. So, in hindsight, if I knew that their interaction was Thraben Charm, I shouldn't have played the Spellbomb. But I didn't know that, because now I don't have another Mox in the graveyard. So when I play Station here, if they have anything else, I lose. If I had another Mox Opal, I would be okay. So the only other thing I can do, like, let's just talk through this. If they have a Wear and Tear or a Norm's Chant, which would be the 2 cards I can think of that would stop me here. Pyroclasm kills everything other than the 3/3, but I'm at 7, so I'd have to find a way back in. But I could Aether Spellbomb on the cat token. Is that just the right move? So I go to 4 next turn, I could bounce the cat token. I draw off the Bauble. I have 2 copies of Underworld Breach left in. Alright, I'm down to 5 minutes. I'm just going to play the Breach, or play the Grinding Station. If they have it, they have it. Alright, so with that trigger on the stack, we'll target me, sacrifice Mox Opal. Surgical Extraction on Mox Opal. So their last card was a relevant spell. That stinks. And now I'm dead on board. So we can untap the... I can mill my entire deck, but I can't play Thassa's Oracle. That's the problem. And they have 6 power in place. I'm actually not dead. We'll target myself. Pyroclasm. So I guess the play here is to play Bauble a number of times. We'll auto-yield to this. 4 minutes on the clock. This is not enough time. Static Prison. We'll play Mishra's Bauble. No. Bauble. Play the Bauble. No. Bauble. And we'll pass. We'll draw 4. Pyroclasm. Bauble. Looting. Oracle. So I'd have to draw one of the 2 remaining breaches. This puts me to 1. Oh, our opponent missed lethal. Right? Because they could have played the Static Prison pre-combat, target the Spellbomb, but then don't use it, get 3 energy and kill me. We milled the Breach. No! So I have 1 Breach left in the deck. And I have to draw it here. I had to mill myself, too. Unholy Heat. Wish I had more time. So I could Pyroclasm plus kill the cat. We'll do that. Unholy Heat on the cat. 3 minutes left. Maybe you're supposed to bobble first. It's just when I don't have much time, I'm not playing as well. Because I should have bobbled first to see if they have lethal on top. They have a land. Okay, so we'll draw off the Spellbomb. We'll hit F6. There's 20 cards left in deck. We draw another Looting. They play their land. Let's play Faithless Looting. We hit the Breach. Discard land. Discard Emry. So I don't have enough mana to win right now. So let's play Looting again. Discard Looting, discard Spell Pierce. We'll play Emry. This gets me down to 10 cards left in deck. Oh, I'm having a heart attack right now. This game is so insane. They draw another land. Wait, do I even need Breach anymore? Alright, so we'll get back Bobble. Play the Bobble. Play Grinding Station. Oh, I auto-yielded. That's not good. We'll say no. Damn, I messed this up. We'll target them. Meltdown is their top card. Target myself. Sacrifice the Grinding Station. We'll just say yes. Flashback Looting. I don't even need this Underworld Breach anymore. Discard the Breach. Discard Unholy Heat. We'll pass. So we'll draw off the Bobble. That will bring us down to 3. We know that they're drawing a blank card. And then we can just play Oracle on our turn. We'll play the Saga. Play Grinding Station. No. Play Oracle. Devotion is 3. Opponent said GG's. GG's opponent. That was insane. What a match. We had another Breach? I could have swore that we used 3 of them before I discarded this one. I guess I was wrong. We had 2 Breaches left. But we got the match anyway. Wow. That was absolutely nuts. 2-0. There's still 3 matches left. Hopefully they're just as good as this one. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. For round number 3, we're on the play again, running hot with die rolls. We will keep this. This is a turn 1 Tamiyo. We'll play Scalding Tarn, activate it. We'll search out a Steam Vents. Ouch. Play the Tamiyo. We're not going to play out the Mox Amber. There's no reason to play Mox Amber. It just incentivizes our opponent to kill our Tamiyo. We don't want to do that. They play Wooded Foothills for a Stomping Ground. And they had the removal. Bummer. And now that we don't need this Mox Amber anymore, we can potentially discard it here with the Thassa's Oracle. We can fetch. I'm going to be lazy and just grab a Surveil land here. That's a Grinding Station. Oh boy. We're in a very good spot right now. They play a land for a Basing Mountain. Ren and 6. I don't care about that. Let's play Faithless Looting. Another Mox Amber. We'll discard. Actually, I think I want the Breeding Pool. Discard the Island and Looting. We'll play Breeding Pool. We'll play Grinding Station. Pass. So next turn we can play Breach and then start milling our deck with Mox Ambers until we hit a Mox Opal. And then that will allow us to start making mana, and then we can win with the Thassa's Oracle. Our opponent's likely playing the Creativity deck. That's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, I believe that we have the game. Our opponent could always have a free spell in their hand, but it looks like we have it. Another Grinding Station. Play Underworld Breach. We'll play Mox Amber. And now we'll... with the trigger on the stack, because we want a free untap here. We'll say yes. We hit a Mox Opal. So we'll play that. And I want to start making mana, so I'm not going to mill right now. It's probably better... I guess it doesn't matter which 0 we put into play. Well, I guess if we somehow mess up, it's better to have the Amber. We'll exile Tamiyo and a Faithless Looting, I guess. Or I could do the other Mox Amber. Okay, so now with this trigger on the stack, I'll tap for blue, target ourselves, and now I'll say always, and then always yes. We'll play Mox Opal. Whoop, and that's fine. Technically, I missed untap there, but it doesn't really matter. And we'll just keep on playing Mox Opal now. Tap for a green. Now we'll sacrifice the Opal. I guess I can play Grinding Station. Sacrifice the Mox Amber. And now we'll play Opal. And the opponent concedes. Thank you, opponent. I do appreciate it. Alright, so we're facing a deck that likely has a bunch of Thought Seizes. We want Veil of Summer. Spell Pierce seems fine. I like Nature's Claim. A lot of these decks now have been like morphing into like a Reanimator strategy with like Persistence stuff. So like you could bring in Soul Guides, you could bring in Spell Bomb, you could even make an argument for Needle. I'm not going to have all this in the deck. I'm just listing options. We'll get rid of the creature removal. We don't want that. So what are we going to keep? I want to take out one Mox Amber. Like, it's just a free thing in my mind. Like, it's the worst Mox. Like, we can shave one. Alright, so I don't know if I want to bring in Needle Blind. Maybe that's silly, but I want to see something that I need it for before I leave it in. And I don't know if I love the Soul Guide Lanterns, so we could take those out. And I think if you're trying to beat their large creature after it's hit the table, you've already lost. So we could take out the Aether Spell Bomb. So now we're at 62. The alternative is that you take out all the Tamiyos again, because our opponent has Lightning Bolt and stuff like that. But the Tamiyos could run away with the game. We'll do one Grinding Station. Like I said, a lot of people only play the 2. And then let's try -1 Emry Lurker of the Loch. Game 2, we're on the draw. I will keep Mountain into Faithless Looting. And they have a Archon in the graveyard, so if they have Persist, we're in trouble. Oh my, we ripped the Breach. Can we win next? No, I can't win next turn, unless I hit another Opal. If I hit another Opal, I can win next turn. We'll fetch, grab the Thundering Falls, surveil away Scalding Tarn, Mox Amber. So our opponent is leaving open mana here. I think I'm just going to play a Rumble. And I could still win next turn with the creature off the Rumble. We'll take the Opal, pass the turn. I hope that they tap out on turn 3 for a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but we'll have to wait and see. Or Faithless Looting. I'd take that too. They grab a Raucous Theater, surveils away Faithless Looting. Arid Mesa for a Stomping Ground. That's a Fable. We're going to try to win on turn 3. The fact that we hit our 2 of Station early on was just insane. So we'll play Urza Saga. We'll play Grinding Station. And now we will play Underworld Breach. Play Mox Amber. With that trigger on the stack, we'll target ourselves. We'll say yes. Replay Mox Amber. I realized that I need the Amber in play to make mana, so maybe I was supposed to wait there. We'll play Mox Opal. And now we'll tap this for green. Target myself. Sacrifice the Opal. And they have Surgical Extraction. Brutal. I'm not going to concede. We will Nature's Claim on the Fable. Oh, I can just get rid of the Opal. We found the line. Alright, we're still winning this turn. I lied. Wow, the fact that I made green for the Veil ended up being insane here. We'll play the other Mox Opal from hand. Oh my. Oh my. I accidentally stumbled into a win. How about that? I don't know if I would have saw it otherwise. Holy moly. I'll take it. I really will. We're 3-0, 2 matches left. This deck feels busted. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. 4 die rolls, 1 in a row. We're on the play again for the 4th match. Sure, we'll keep. Play Scalding Tarn. Let's play Bobble. Target myself. Yeah, I definitely want an Underworld Breach, so we will pass. Draw the Underworld Breach. So I think we want to grab, what is it called? Stomping Ground here. Also, I feel like the deck might want a second Surveil land, and a few times I've wanted it to be the green-red Surveil land, so Commercial District might not be a terrible call. Mox Opal. Well, if we can find a Grinding Station here, we might be looking... Whoa, please don't play that. If we can find Grinding Station, we might have a turn 3. We will take Basic Island. Pass the turn. Elegant Parlor. Alright, so our opponent is playing Energy. They play an Ajani. Come on, Grinding Station. Let's see it. Breeding Pool is the draw. I think I'm just going to play an island and we'll make constructs. I don't need to force a combo win when I can just, like, make some constructs, buy time. Not to mention I probably should have played out the 0-mana artifacts. That's a mistake on my part. Because now my construct would die to an Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, that was dumb. Okay. Something weird is happening with my opponent's avatar. It's like flickering. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, we're about to get Bowmasters here. I messed up. I should have played out these artifacts. Unholy Heat. We will sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn. And now comes the Bowmaster. Yep. You're a dummy, Bryant. We will kill the Orcish Bowmasters. Yep. That was a massive punt. We'll grab a Bauble. Play Mox Opal. Let's try a Faithless looting here. Get rid of the Mox Amber and Otawara. We'll play Breeding Pool. Pass the turn. They search out a Raucous Theater. So they could play Flage here, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. And it's going to have haste. Am I dead? They have 4 power on the board. That would bring me to 12. Then the Flage is... So I'm not dead, but I'm near dead. So we either find Grinding Station or else we're done. I'll use the Bauble. Okay. So we're going to take a bunch of damage here. Now we'll draw off the Bauble. And we hit Scalding Tarn. So we'll play our land for turn. Fetch down to 2. Grab Basic Mountain. So Rumble looks at the most cards. I feel like that's the move here. We'll take Mox Amber. And now we'll play Breach. Play Mox Amber. So I'm short of Metalcraft. So we'll play Mishra's Bauble. Exile some lands. And now I can escape a Rumble. Or an Emry. I think the Rumble's better because I can potentially hit something I want. We'll remove some more lands. Rumble. And I hit the Grinding Station. Okay, so now I can loop the Mox Opal because I have another Opal in the graveyard. And now we'll play the Breach. I'm sorry, play the Grinding Station. And this will trigger, will activate, target myself. Get rid of the Opal. Okay. Yes. Play Opal. And we'll add red. Target myself. Sacrifice Opal. Yes. We'll play Faithless Looting. Discard. Discard. Grinding Station. Target myself. Get rid of Mox Amber. We'll play Mox Opal. We'll make blue. Target myself. So this is our opponent actually making us do it, which is fine. Like, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that it happened in the video. Out for another blue. Grinding Station. Trying to play as quickly as I can here. Out for a green. Grinding Station targeting ourselves. Play an Opal. Out for a red. We'll target ourselves. We have found the Oracle. Sweet. Our opponent concedes. Alright, so we stole game number 1. I think we want to board similarly to how we did, and I believe it was match 2 that we faced Energy. We know that this person has Orcish Bowmasters, in which they probably have Thoughtseize in the sideboard, so we could want Veil of Summer, which is slightly different. So we'll take out all the Tamiyos, and then Mox Ambers, especially if we think that they have Meltdown. Maybe it's foolish to I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just accept if they have Thoughtseize. Like, Veil of Summer does not seem that incredible to me. Yeah, we'll bring the artifacts back in. Let's try this. Alright, a quick update. I just looked at a recent list. There was no Thoughtseizes in there, so looks like this is the right call. Yeah, we keep these. 18 minutes on the clock. I do need to play this faster than I did that other match. I don't want to end up timing out if it goes to 3 games. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. Godless Shrine. Looks like they have a Bowmasters. We'll fetch. Grab Thundering Falls. Keep the Spell Pierce. Scalding Tarn. We'll pass the turn. I'd like to wait a little bit on Saga. And there's the Bowmasters. Yep. Land number 3. Ouch. I'm at 16. We'll fetch. Grab the Stomping Ground. They didn't play anything else, so I think that there's a chance here that our opponent has another Bowmasters. We'll play Bauble. Play Needle. Elegant Parlor. And I realized that I could have... I'm going to name Arid Mesa. I realized that I could have held the Needle for looting. But I'm hoping that if I can choke them on mana, they end up tapping out and give me some windows. Ah, they do have Thoughtseize. Okay, that hurts. They likely take the Underworld Breach. And they do. They swing. We go to 13. I'm not going to use the Bauble. I don't want their Bowmasters to get larger. Unholy Heat. So we did see Meltdowns in a bunch of lists. I'm going to hold this Opal. I don't want to play into it. Land number 5. So this Spell Pierce is dying pretty quickly here. On the end step, we will make a Construct. I have to hope that they don't have the Meltdown. We find a Rumble. We'll make another Construct. No Lightning Bolt there. We'll grab Haywire Might. We'll attack for 5. Alright, so I did not play out the Mox Opal. Not an accident. Just trying to play around Meltdown. And sure enough, they have it. So we'll draw a card. Well, we'll use Bauble. We'll draw a card on our turn, and their Orc will get a little bigger. We gain 2 life off the Haywire Might. Now they attack. We'll go back to 13. We draw off the Bauble. The Orc gets a little bit bigger. Draw for turn. Another Rumble. We will play Pyroclasm. Pass the turn. We have not drawn a land that was not in our opening hand. So we're just falling behind right now. Come on, play out a bunch of creatures. They have 3 cards left. Underworld Breach. I think I'm going to just play a Rumble here. We will take Urza Saga. Play the Urza Saga. And pass the turn. They go to 9. A dash to Ragavan. I think I'll throw the spawn token in front of the Ragavan. Okay. Saga now will go up to the next chapter. We'll play out Scalding Tarn. Play Mox Opal. So now our Construct token would be a 2/2. And we'll just pass. They're going to combat. Nothing. Alright, so end step will fetch. Grab. Steam Vents. Most lists only have 2 Meltdown, so I don't know if I should be playing around an extra one here. Like, it's unlikely that they found it, but our opponent is sitting on 5 cards and just not doing anything. Maybe I should use the... Oh, no, it's not active yet. I can't use the Opal. Alright, so I guess I'll just pay for it this way. We'll grab an Aether Spell Bomb. Play Mishra's Bauble. We will Unholy Heat on the Guide of Souls to force through 5 damage. Swing. In their upkeep, we will Bauble. The Raven Charm. Okay. They did have the other Meltdown. Sure. And a dash to Ragavan. So, interesting enough here. If I bounce the Ragavan and then I draw a land, I can beat a Thraben Charm. Honestly, I might even be able to beat the Thraben Charm without drawing a land. Just by playing out stuff from the graveyard. It depends on what they have. So we'll draw off the Bauble. That's not a land. Mox Opal. So I could go Breach, Spell Pierce your Thraben Charm, and then try to play a bunch of artifacts into Galvanic Blast for lethal. That would be the line. I think that this is a reasonable spot, and I won't be able to do this later, so I'm going to do it now. They know that I have Spell Pierce. They saw it earlier this game. We will Spell Pierce on the Thraben Charm. Underworld Breach. We will escape a Bauble. Then they had Wear Tear. Okay. We'll use the Bauble. Pass the turn. It was, I mean, I could beat Thraben Charm, like we just had to go for it. Grinding Station. Now they'll dash Ragavan. Yep. Another Rumble. We will play Rumble. Take the Scalding Tarn. Let's fetch. I'll go to 7. Grab Breeding Pool. And let's play Faithless Looting. I think we can just get rid of the Mox Opals. Like, they don't help me here. We'll play another Mishra's Bauble. Target you. Wear Tear. Okay, so if I draw Breach, it's not going to be good enough. Another Spell Pierce. They kill my spawn token. This way they can hit me with the Ragavan again. Yep. So they have Wear Tear and 1 Unknown. They hit a land off the top of my deck. Another Mox Opal. We'll play Rumble. Take the Underworld Breach. We'll play another Rumble. Whoops. Can't pay for it that way. Play Rumble. We'll take Urza Saga. Play the Saga as my land for turn. And we'll pass. So they know that I have the Breach, which means that they have to respect Urza Saga, or else I could potentially beat them down for lethal. And they did not bother playing the Ragavan. Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. I'll play out a Mox Opal. And they just conceded. Sweet. All right, well, now we're 4-0, about to play for a trophy. I trophied last week with the Lotus Field Breach deck. Can we do it this week with Grinding Breach? Stick around to find out. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? I have some bad news. We've lost the die roll. This is the first time we've lost the die roll and we're 4-0. So, you know, not a good sign of things to come. We've opened up a hand that I don't think is keepable. We will send it back. And this is a 1-land hand where we could play Grinding Station on turn 1. I think we're actually going to keep this. It seems a little insane, but you can dump your hand very quickly. Actually, you can play your entire hand on the first turn. So I have to hope that our opponent's on like a bad green deck. That is not a bad green deck. Uh-oh. They have a Tamiyo. There's a Saga. We'll play a Mishra's Bauble. Mox Amber. Mox Opal. Tap the Opal for a blue. We'll play Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. And now we'll play Grinding Station. And then I will bobble them. They have a bobble on top of their deck. So my current game plan is just make insanely large construct. We rip the breach? No way. So if they don't have a counter spell, we win on the second turn. I'll block. Why aren't you letting me block? Let's go. I would like to block. All right. Some 0-on-0 action. Tap out, please. Overgrown Tomb, what are you playing? They're playing a Rumble. Are you on breach? Is this the mirror match? Well, I think that we're about to have a turn 2 win in Modern with breach. No way. I can't believe I just kept this sketchy hand and ripped Underworld Breach. I'm going to continue to say no. Okay. We draw another Mox Amber. We'll play Underworld Breach. And our opponent concedes. We're 1 game away from greatness right now. Let's go. Turn 2 win. We'll bring in Veil of Summer and Spell Pierce. So they showed us a Psychic Frog off the Rumble. I don't know if they are a Breach deck. I think I kind of want to just take out the creature interaction and say I'm the combo deck in this matchup. You answer me. Maybe we want to leave like a couple Galvanic Blast or at least one so that way we can beat a Consign to Memory. Cut 1 Mox Amber maybe. Or I mean a second copy of Mox Amber. Or we board out an Emry. We could try this. Sure, we'll keep. It's not an amazing hand, but it plays. Thundering Falls. Mishra's Bauble. Keep the Scalding Tarn on top. We'll play out the Bauble. Let's look at their top card. They kept it for a reason. You are a Breach deck. Okay, a Breach deck with Psychic Frog. So I boarded wrong. The Seiju Who Endures. They play a Tamiyo. Mox Amber. And Grinding Station. We know that they have Breach. So it looks like we're the ones getting goldfish this game. Okay. I guess I could draw into Spell Pierce and they don't have another mana. We'll target myself. The Mox here doesn't help. So I need to show strength and fetch untapped and play looting. We did not hit. We'll discard Oracle and Veil of Summer. Pass the turn. We'll draw off the Mishra's Bauble. Come on, Spell Pierce. Nope. So the Tamiyo attacks. They get to trigger the Grinding Station here, so they'll mill themselves for 3. They milled another Breach. Are you going to go for it? They are. Okay. So I know that they conceded, but their deck list looks weird. I just want to see what they're playing. So we're going to make them mill most of their deck. They have Fatal Push. Okay, so like I'm not going to narrate the entire loop, but I will call out some stuff that I see that I find interesting. They have Thoughtseize, Nile Spellbomb. They sided in Nature's Claim. Now that I know that they're on Breach, I'll probably bring mine in. And there's the Oracle. So they have Nile Spellbomb and Soul Guide Lantern. Flare of Denial. That's a good one to see here. So it's only a 1 of so far. We've only seen 1 Flare of Denial. There's another Flare of Denial. Okay. So that's why they're playing Psychic Frog, is their deck has blue counter magic in it. So I end up liking my decision to bring in Veil of Summers and Spell Pierces. Like, we just didn't win, but I don't think I'm going to change that. They bring back Emry, Lurker of the Loch, and Oracle. Okay, so we got a lot of good information about what's in our opponent's deck. They have at least 2 copies of Flare of Denial, 2 copies of Thoughtseize, a Nature's Claim, 2 graveyard removal things. Like, that wasn't nothing. We want to bring in our Nature's Claims. I don't want the Galvanic Blast anymore. We should bring in our Soul Guide Lanterns. We are at 64 cards, though, so what am I going to do here? I think we'll probably cut a few copies of Rumble, maybe another Mox Amber, and maybe 1 Grinding Station. Like, we're just going to be more of a controlling deck on the play for the final game of this league. Well, this is a hand that just jams if you can find your Grinding Station. We'll keep. I say we're going to be a controlling deck, and then I opened up this, where we could have a turn 3. We'll play Thundering Falls. I think we keep that on top, because if they have Thoughtseize or a counterspell, it allows us to try multiple times. Misty Rainforest. We'll play Stomping Ground. Ouch. We'll play a Rumble. We'll take Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Pass the turn. I cannot play the Emry this turn. They search out Undercity Sewers. They put an island to the graveyard. Visaiju Who Endures. So this does not play Psychic Frog. And they play their own Rumble. And they choose Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Okay. Mox Opal. We'll play Amber. Play Mox Opal. This allows us to play the Emry. Come on, Grinding Station. We did not hit Grinding Station. So I could play Breach here. And then like play Tamiyo plus something else. Or I could play Haywire Might plus a Rumble. That's actually not terrible. I have 8 cards in the graveyard, so I could do Haywire plus Rumble. I just don't know if that's too aggressive here. So if I don't do that, I can hold open Otawara, and then I can't lose the game. I think that's just the better move. We'll pass. They play Thundering Falls. They put Saga to the graveyard. And now they're going to play Needle. Okay. So they could probably say Emry here. But I know that they have 1 in their hand. Grinding Station. Okay. So they think that they're ahead. Fatal Push. This might be a really good spot for me to bounce the... Oh no, it's not a good spot for me to bounce the Needle. That's terrible. Yeah, Emry dies. We'll draw for turn. It's another Emry. Perfect. We will play Emry. We hit our Needle in a looting. We will pass the turn. Urza Saga. They have 4 cards. 1 of which is an Emry. Psychic Frog. Okay. So if I think that this is my window, I can bounce the Needle right now. And I kind of think it is. We will Otawara the Needle. So we draw another Emry. That's delightful. We'll bring back Mishra's Bauble. Maybe I should have done the other Mox Amber. That might have been better. So we'll tap this. Play Underworld Breach. That resolves. Let's escape Mox Amber. And now we'll play a Rumble. 37 cards in deck. We hit the Grinding Station. That should be game. Yes! Let's go! Back-to-back undefeated trophies with Underworld Breach and Modern. Yes! Oh, that feels so good. This deck felt insane. I might like this more than Lotus Field Combo. I'm not sure yet. But holy moly! That was a great league. I think the highlight of the league for me was match 2, where we won by, in game 3, we were disrupted by the Surgical, and we milled the last like 18 to 20 cards the hard way with like Faithless Lootings, Emry, Rumbles, and then we just won with Oracle with like a minute left on the clock. That was such an insane game. If you were someone that just skips to the end, go back and watch that one. But wow, no changes. This felt incredible. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I am so psyched right now. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, I appreciate you watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Additionally, check out Card Market, Europe's leading card single retailer, where you can buy singles for your deck like, I don't know, the Epic Storm. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching. See ya!